Sponsored by Taylor Freelance, Rainier Ballistics, Hodgdon Powders, and JPL Precision.
Hi, welcome to Power Factor. I'm Larry, and this week I got another match review for you. This one was shot a few weeks ago at this point, so it's going to be a bit of a memory game for me. So this was our annual Toys for Tots match that was shot at the Paul Bunyan shooting range in Puyallup, Washington. And it's one of our nicer clubs. I think it must have been our first USPSA club around here. The club number's NW01. And it's my favorite club. It's just too bad it's such a long drive for me, but definitely a nice facility, and they put on a nice match. They always put on a nice match. They got nice props and nice bays, good ground surface, and everything else. So it's always fun to go down there, and this one was, like I said, a Toys for Tots match, charity. They would take whatever you wanted to donate. There was no set match fee. You could donate a toy, you could donate cash, whatever it was. Like I said, a few weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago at this point, so this was the second week in December when we shot the match. So it was before Christmas and getting geared up for Christmas for the Toys for Tots charity. So we're going to run through the stages that we shot. Again, I'm using the Hodgdon Powder CFE pistol, so check that out. Look up their load data online. I really like their online loading manuals or loading tables. You can plug in exactly your caliber, your bullet weight, what powder you want. You can check mark multiple bullet weights and caliber, or bullet weights and powders and whatever else within that caliber, and pull up the load data that way. It's really nice. And they're I believe they got it on mobile now as well. I've been using it on my phone. It's once, and it's looking really good on the mobile app as well. So, or on the mobile website. So that's cool. So another match review for you. Shooting limited. My Glock 35 as usual. We're going to look at these stages in order from 1 through 6. It's not the order we shot them in. Stage 1 is our last stage, and we were getting pretty bunched up. I think we had to wait an hour, at least an hour, while one squad finished, and then the other squad ahead of us went through their whole lineup before we got to go. And at this point, we were tired and hungry, and it was just like, get me out of here. So we'll show you this course. It's a standards course, 3 separately timed strings, and just take a quick look. Thanks.
Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, load for the next string. 705. 705.
Freestyle reload.
Strong
and
hand.
Then strong hand.
Yep. One round each.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, load for the next string.
Which is 2 each weekend, right?
Yep, 2 each weekend. 745.
745.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Really?
Limp wrist in it, Larry?
Yep.
If you're finished, unload and show clear.
11.55.
If clear, hammer down, holster.
All right, so that was stage 1. Nothing exciting. You got 3 targets downrange, 3 shooting positions behind the fault line, something like 35 yards. I don't know. It was a long way. It looked a lot farther than what it really was, I think, because of the wide-angle cameras that we use. But it was still a long way, and like I said, tired, hungry, just wanted to go home. Half of our group was saying, let's just skip it and go home, and I don't know, whatever. So we shot it, and I didn't shoot that well, but you know me, I'm not a super accurate shooter as I wish I was. My fundamentals have kind of gone out the window over the last few years. 13th out of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 13th out of 25 shooters, so right in the middle of the pack. Yeah, in the middle of the pack, but with a 27%. It was horrible. So 40 penalty points. A lot of people, 7, 8 people zeroed this stage with either misses or no-shoot hits. I had a couple myself, I think. I don't know if I had any no-shoot. Yeah, I probably did. I had a couple no-shoots and a couple misses, I'm sure of it. I got 40 penalty points here. No sense dwelling on the stage. I don't even know what lessons learned I can give you on that, except for being tired at the end of the day. I mean, you saw the weak hand shooting on the third string, my gun locking open. I might have been limp wristing the gun. A friend of mine accused me of that on the spot, and I said, I don't know. I never have, but I probably did this time because I don't know. It just was time to go home at that point. But anyway, next stage is stage 2. Our first stage of the day, and I had a little more energy in me, and let's take a look at that one.
On the mark?
Yep. Are you ready? Stand by. Nice. If you're finished, I'm going to show clear. Oh, clear. Därför har jag med det hostet. Range is clear!
Okay, so like I said, that was stage 2, the first stage of the day that we shot. Now, right at the start position, you're facing basically on the 180, you're facing sideways to the left side of the bay. And if you were to go, the first thing I noticed when I very first walked the stage was how can you even shoot this legally, because when you approach the wall, when you get real close to the wall and the targets are beyond the wall, your gun has to go up range and around the wall in order to shoot those targets. And what I wasn't seeing was that the shooting area was wide enough and the uprange wall was at an angle that allowed you to go further uprange, and so you had to shoot those first 2 targets from further, much further back from the wall, so that you were not breaking the 180. Otherwise, there's just no way that you could have gotten around the wall without sweeping yourself or breaking the 180 or something else, or just taking forever to do it and doing it safely. So luckily got some tips on, hey, just stand here, dummy. So I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. So and then otherwise, fun stage, a lot of shooting through ports, a lot of quick moving around, and made 1 reload there in the middle, and 4 steel poppers at the end, which I shot 1 for 1, and thankfully, because then the gun was empty after that, and I stood there dumbfounded for I don't know, it seemed like a minute. Trying to just stand there, but a few minutes. I'm walking around, I'm loading my mags, and I'm going, how did that even happen? Because I must not have loaded my mag all the way, is all I can figure, because after the reload, I had 18 rounds to go, I believe it was, and the gun locked open, and I should have had 19 plus 1 in the gun, 1 in the chamber. So thankfully, I made the hits on the steel there. I knew I was going to come up short. I knew I was not going to be short, but I knew it was going to be close. So I was very focused on making those hits the first time and not having to fire any makeups. Thankfully, I didn't have to throw another reload in there. I was 10th overall out of 26 limited shooters with 76% on that stage. Hit factor was 7.8. So decently high hit factor, which means fast shooting, fast running, and a lot of fun. I had 1 miss on one of those targets near the end. I think I was a little early on the trigger, and I think I fired a shot before I was fully on target, coming through that last port on the right. But otherwise, fun stage that these guys put together. Let's take a look at stage 3.
Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished, unload and show clear. Place up on him in the holster.
That stage was stage 3, starting with the hands flat against the barricade on the marks, and then 3 different shooting positions, kind of a triangular setup with run to the left, fire across the bay, come back up to the middle, fire straight down range, run to the right, and fire across the bay that way. The one quirk about this one was that there were 3 rounds required on each target. And so, and there was only 2 targets for each position, and I was really focused on getting good hits. One thing that you probably see in the camera there on the video is that the sun is like right in our face, and you get some, the vapors and some steam coming out of the berms and everything. Is a little bit hard to see the targets from the first position looking into the sun. From the other side looking the other way, it was much better, and you see I shot quite a bit faster on the last array. But 6 rounds, 6 rounds, and 6 rounds, and that one was done. Good stage, it's always fun to shoot them, and anybody that comes up with a unique design that's just a little out of the ordinary, a little bit different, hey, more power to them. We do enjoy and appreciate it. I was 9th overall in that stage with an 80% and a 6 hit factor, so happy there. No misses, 13, almost 14 seconds. The winner of this one was in a 7.5 hit factor range. Man, and he was shooting fast too. It was incredible watching his video on that one. So the only takeaway from that is I wish I was on the trigger a little bit faster, and would have bumped the score up a little bit more if I pulled the time down a bit. But shot a little slow, deliberately. I'm going to make sure I made good hits on that one. So stage 4. This is a little quickie with just shooting from a box, and 4 paper targets and 3 steel poppers. Check it out.
Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished, unloading, show clear. Close up on him in the holster. Range is clear.
As you can see, I shot that one very deliberately. I wanted to make sure I'm getting my hits. I'm really trying to focus on the accuracy as the end of the year was coming around, and as we start this new year, I really want to not make as many mistakes. I really am trying to see my sights a lot better than I have been, instead of just being the hoser that I have been over the years. So I was very deliberate, trying to make good hits here. 1, 2, popper, 1, 2, popper, 1, 2, popper, 1, 2. So that worked out well for me. I was 5th overall, still 75% of the stage winner. So there's a pretty good chasm there. My hit factor actually was 10.5, which is pretty good, pretty healthy hit factor. That's 10.5. That's 2 A-zone hits per second and then some. Of course, the stage winner rather, he was a 14 hit factor. So I was under 5 seconds. He was under 4. So and 3 2/3. So there's definitely some speed that could be gained there. Maybe not by me, but some people were definitely up there. Sub 4 seconds. We had a couple of runs sub 4 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Anyway, it was fun. It's always fun shooting. The one thing I see that I remember from this stage was the sun coming through. Now you see there's a tall stand of trees over on the right, and the sun was coming around, and the shadow was coming across the bay, and my run was timed perfectly, because like the guy before me had the sun in his eyes, and he shot, and then they scored, and then it was my turn, and by that time the sun had moved like 5 feet or something, and then I got to shoot without the sun in my eyes, so that was nice. I was happy about that for sure. So otherwise, definitely a good run for me, a good placement for me, 5th place. Like I said, still just 75% of the match, of the stage winner rather, which means I get 75% of his points, which is how scoring works. But anyway, that was fun, and yeah, we'll take a look at the next one.
Are you ready? Stand by.
not what I was supposed to do.
If you finish and then show clear.
Oh man.
Please stop on him.
What a freaking disaster.
Race is clear.
Oh my god.
Was that meant to you?
Oh my god. That was so awesome.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see there. Just a no shoot.
Let me go look at that. I don't know. Are you sure? Are you sure that was a no shoot?
Okay, so that was a great little, I mean, not little, that was a great field course these guys put together. I completely hosed myself, though, so first of all, I apologize. The camera was sitting a little bit low, and you see the brim of my hat much more than usual, and there's no way to really gauge that when you're out there. So you couldn't necessarily see every target I was shooting at when I was shooting, because I put my head down, and targets were just a bit above the screen. But anyway, so you kind of get the gist of it, right? There's some targets on the left, targets on the right, a hallway up the middle, there's some steel, a couple of shooting ports up the middle of the hallway. Targets can be seen only from certain places. Anyway, so this was a pretty big field course, 150 points available on this one, so which is a 30-round course. And so what did I do? So I completely screwed myself. Not only did I have a miss somewhere, but I drilled that no-shoot that's like, you know, at muzzle distance, about a foot away from the muzzle. Why did I do that? So it's interesting. So, you know, this club has their barricades, their walls are made out of this snow fence, and you can see through it, right? So normally I'm approaching a port, and I've got the gun at kind of a low ready. It's not on, I'm not sighting, I'm not looking through the sights. I normally come into those ports with the gun a little bit low so I can see everything around me and I can see the targets. And I'm normally, what I should have done and what I normally would be doing, I got the gun low and I'm looking through the wall, and as soon as I get into the port, and just a split second before I see the target appear in the port and I'm still moving into it, that's when I drive the gun out to the target and try and get the sights on target. Try to get the sights on target as early as I can. So this time I didn't make any conscious decision before the beep or anything like that, but I come up and I said, you know what? And it's amazing how fast these thoughts come through your head in split seconds. But I said, I'm going to put the sights on the target. I am looking through the sights at that target, looking right through the snow fence, right through the barricade. And so that I'm thinking, when I clear that port, blam, I'm on it, and I'm going to get through this port as quickly as I can. So I get the sights on target. I've got my light trigger, it's like I talked about several episodes back, where I adjusted all the pre-travel out of it and took all the over-travel out of as much as I could, and still got the safety works in the Glock trigger, but it's not, the pre-travel is not taking up so much that the safety doesn't work. But anyway, so my finger's on the trigger and I'm seeing the target, and my mind said, well, hell, the sights are on target, shoot it. And so, but I'm moving toward the port at the time, so that shot wound up being right in the middle of the no-shoot, which is, closer than this camera is to me right now. So, and then of course, I derail myself by laughing at myself, and I don't know, when something like that happens, you're supposed to just get back on the plan, forget it. There's nothing you can do to undo what you did. Just get back on the plan and finish the course as best you can and maximize those points. That's what you're supposed to do. Me, I go for comedic value, and I just laugh at myself and say, oh, what the hell am I doing? And we all have a good laugh, and it's all good fun. So you can laugh at me too if you like. It was hilarious. Anyway, so and then. And to make matters worse, I lean into the one port on the right to shoot a target which I had already shot. So, and I'm like, oh yeah, that steel's already down. So I just wasted a second and a half looking for it. Anyway, not my best finish. Not by any means. What was it? 19th place out of 26. Like I said, 20 penalty points. I think there was a miss out there somewhere, and 58%. Not good. Not good. Hit factor 3.9. So it was funny though, right? Hey, we're here to provide you entertainment. And I believe we have one more course to go, and this one is not a legal USPSA stage, but they did tell us that they were not strictly following USPSA rules. This was not a USPSA sanctioned match. There was no classifier at this match. So this was just a fun match, a charity match, and they did some things to make it easy to set up in some cases, but then also to let us have some fun, do some things we don't normally get to do. So check this one out.
Okay. Are you ready? Stand by. Damn it!
Finish on low, so clear. Clear, hammer down holster.
That was an extra shot. Range is clear, and an extra.
Okay, so you see this stage here. This is our last stage of the match, stage 6. Starting on the barrel, I didn't even notice if it was loaded or unloaded. I think it was a loaded start. Loaded start on the barrel, but your spare mags had to come from the barrel. 30 rounds, 150 points, so 30-round course, and just nothing but a row of targets. 15 targets out there, 2 each, 30 rounds, but it was Virginia count. So, you know, that means fire exactly this many number of rounds, exactly 2 on target. Any more than that is counted as an extra. Any more shots are counted as extra shots. Any extra hits are also counted as extra hits. So you get double whammy if you made that hit on that extra shot. So this one was fast, but not that fast. Honestly, I think I shot at this distance. I shot about as fast as I could see, and maybe I can't see quite as fast for sure as some of these Grandmaster guys. But like I said, 15 targets, and I just did a quick count. We were skipping around to try to finish the match, and so we jumped ahead of one squad, and then they were starting to ride up on us, and we were trying to hurry up and just, okay, next, go to get out of these guys' way. And so I got up there real quick, and I just did a real quick count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, it was either the 16th or 18th shot, I don't remember, where I decided that's where I'm going to make my mag change. And the way I chose to make my mag change was based on the fact that there's a tall target and a short target. So that's an easy place that when I look down and I grab the mag and I look back up, I'll be able to know and pick up where I left off. And so that's our Power Factor Show power tip for you, to look for something like that on a stage like that with, on a Virginia count stage, like I said. If you get through that thing and you wind up having 4 hits on a target, well, 2 of those are going to be penalized as extra hits. And most likely you would have extra shots in that case as well. So you want to make sure that you have something. I'm looking at the paused video right now. One target stand's got some red paint on it. Something like that can that will be an indicator for you. It's something to index on. When you look away for your reload and you look back, you have a way to pick up where you left off. So that's a tip for you if you're shooting any kind of outlaw matches like this one kind of was. But course design doesn't follow USPSA rules. There's a tip for you on that type of stage. Thanks for watching again this week. Hope you enjoyed my match review. Hope you laughed at me there on stage 5 or whatever it was, as I blasted the no-shoot target just a foot from my muzzle. There's probably powder burns on that thing. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed that. The overall results, which sometimes I forget to report, was 11th overall, 71%. Not that happy with it, but some of those some of those courses like stage 1 just really hurt, and that stage where I shot the no shoot, that really hurts too. So that put me down in the rankings quite a bit. So anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed watching this week. We do enjoy bringing you these match reviews. We can thank Hodgson Powder for helping us deliver this content, and Rainier Ballistics, thank you also for helping us deliver this content, and Taylor Freelance as well. All were part of my gun that day, and always are. So now, before we close, I got a trivia question for you this week. We've got a few more things to give away. I believe this week we're giving away a Taylor Freelance base pad. Don't hold me to it. So we're going to try and sync that up. So here's the trivia question this week. The match was a Toys for Tots charity, and my question is simply this: what branch of the U.S. military is Toys for Tots associated with? If you know the answer, email the answer to our email address at powerfactorshow@gmail.com. If you don't know the answer, Google it, and then go ahead and send us the answer, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win that product. As always, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/powerfactorshow. And what else we got? We got a website. Yeah, that's right, powerfactorshow.com. And on the right side, if you scroll down a bit, there's a search bar, and you can search on just about any shooting topic you can think of, and we might probably have an episode about that topic. And if we don't, please write us and ask if we could do a show on whatever topic you're interested in. We're always looking for new ideas to keep the show going. With that, I'm signing off. Thanks a lot. See you next week.